Protesters took to the streets of the Philippine capital on Friday as church leaders called on the faithful to prevent a return to the abuses of the Ferdinand Marcos era on the anniversary of his ouster and months before a presidential election in which his son is heavily favored. Police in the Catholic-majority country said about 1,100 mostly young protesters gathered on the same Manila highway where millions assembled 36 years ago to end the dictator's two-decade rule. "Bring back the loot, not the thief," they chanted, hoisting a streamer that read, "No to Marcos Duterte 2022, Ferdinand, Bongbong." Marcos Jr. is running alongside vice presidential hopeful Sara Duterte, daughter of President Rodrigo Duterte. Marcos, 64, has sought to steer public discourse away from the torture, killings and embezzlement of state funds that took place under his father's rule, instead focusing on the nation's need to dig itself out from under the coronavirus pandemic. The capital's Epifanio de los Santos Avenue was the site of 4 days of peaceful street protests in 1986 that followed the elder Marcos being accused of stealing the vote from rival Corazon Aquino in a snap presidential election. Catholic bishops at the time mustered millions of people to protect a small group of military rebels who had holed up at an army base after Marcos uncovered their coup attempt. The protests eventually forced the Marcos family into U.S. exile. "We don't want a repeat of a Marcos presidency, because the Marcoses have been proven corrupt," Jandale Roperos, 25, one of Friday's protesters, said.